comic book fans, welcome back to Comic Book Corner 2.0. And fans, you're back with me, Mike Spider Slayer, getting ready to do that all-important comic book review. So yes, you, the fans, can make a decision on what comic books to buy. And today, guys, I'm going to be continuing my coverage on Avengers No Surrender. This is issue number 678. I've done the first 3 parts. If you guys want to check out the playlist, I'll put a link in the description box below. But let's talk about issue number 4. The book is written by Mark Waid, Al Ewing, and Jim Zub, and the artwork is done by Pepe Larraz. Now, what we found out so far is that there's 2 teams. There's the Black Order and there's the Lethal Legion, and they're competing on a playing board, which is Earth. Who's behind this? The Grand Master. And there's also a mystery character who we don't know yet. There's also the Voyager, and the Voyager is an Avenger that supposedly has been around forever, and since she's been back, the Avengers have remembered her. And she transports people around, back and forth. And that's basically what we know at this point so far. So what happened at the end of the last issue is we see that Quicksilver gets suspended in animation, and he winds up getting the piss beat out of him by the Blood Brothers. And this was because Scarlet Witch tried to unfreeze the Vision. And so when she unfroze him, she froze Quicksilver. And now you think like, oh shit, is he dead? Like, what's going on? So how does this issue open up? So right now it opens up behind Johnny Storm's narration here. So you figure that Johnny Storm is going to have a bigger part in this particular issue. Kind of like how the Lightning had a bigger part to play when he was introduced in the first issue. So what happens is there's this whole battle that starts to commence between the 2 teams in the different locations. I think it was Peru and Costa Rica, or Rome, or whatever it was. Peru and Rome. And they're battling for these artifacts. They're called pyramids. And you get to see this battle commence throughout the entire issue. And what this issue does is it really does a pretty good job at describing who the Lethal Legion is and the Black Order, on what their power sets are, what they can and can't do, how they can, you know, prevail against our, you know, their enemies and things like that. And then you also see them battle against each other. And as the issue progresses, we get to see the Grandmaster in here watching over his playing board. But we don't get a revelation of who the mystery character is. I think we get a little bit of a hint because he says it's a foe of his from the past. And in this issue, we also get to see a little bit more into Snaps' mind, where we learn more about these particular characters and what they're battling for. And again, they're battling for these pyramids. And so as the issue progresses, once more, we get the Voyager who transports Quicksilver back, and Scarlet Witch quickly finds out that she is responsible for what happened to Quicksilver because she tried to unfreeze the Vision here. So the Black Order winds up getting in possession of this pyramid, or they touch it. And when he touches it, I think it's the character by the name of Black Dwarf. When he touches this pyramid and gets the first point for his team, he says that he sacrifices himself. And that's what happens. He touches this pyramid and he disintegrates into thin air. This triggers Rogue, and she's like, oh shit. She's like, we have to somehow locate or find a way to get a message to the other team that they can't touch this artifact, because what's going to happen is they're going to disintegrate and die. We can't afford to lose somebody from the team. So Lightning automatically volunteers himself to go relay that message. He feels that he's the quickest because he's Lightning. So as we get towards the end of this issue and the Black Order wins their first point, we go back to the other team, and we see that the Human Torch sees that pyramid up top, and he races up top. He's like, this is what the fuss is up over? He's like, that's fine. He's like, I'll go after it. And then the Hulk also realizes that too, the Red Hulk, and so he goes after it at the same time. So as both heroes are reaching for this pyramid, we wind up seeing the Lightning trying to get his message across. He winds up getting the message across the Hulk, but not in time for Human Torch. And as Human Torch goes to touch this pyramid, we get to see his flame quickly get distinguished, but he's not disintegrated yet. So what happens when you touch this pyramid? We don't know. You get sent to another time? You get sent to the Grandmaster's place? Like, what happens? You know, I'm sure we don't die. I'm sure we go somewhere else, but it's left cliffhanged until the next issue. This was a good issue. What did I think about it overall? I had a lot of fun with this. There was a lot of action. There was a lot of going on. So I recommend that you actually read this book twice, because if you want to really learn the characters of the Black Order, if you're not familiar with them, and the Lethal Legion, and what their powers are, what they can and can't do, I suggest that you read that, and read it twice, and you'll have a lot more fun with it. And I'm very intrigued now what's going to happen with the Human Torch, where he's going, how his power sets change, or whatnot. You know, it makes for a very interesting issue, and I really enjoyed this one. So at the end of the day, I think I gotta give this one a 4.25 out of 5 stars. I don't think I could give it a little higher, because I think people can get overwhelmed with the information that's provided in this book, but I still thought it was a really good read. So I definitely suggest this one. So again, guys, if you haven't checked out the playlist, check out parts 1 through 3, and now you have 4. And next week, I'll bring you part 5. So guys, tell me in the comments below what you thought of this issue of Avengers No Surrender Part 4. And as always, thank you so much for supporting Comic Book Corner 2.0. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel. And fans, I'll see you on the next comic book review. Take care, everybody. Bye.